Hey guys, and welcome back to Game 3 between Warriors Gaming Unity versus Mineski-X. The score is 1-1. Of course, welcome. This is the BTS series, Southeast Asia. So, of course,
10
my name is
seconds
Hades,
remaining.
your caster from Singapore, and joining me, my co-caster Blaze. What's up, dude?
Well, I'm enjoying this match, man. I mean, it's just the round of 16, but we already
Dire
see
team
a very
pick.
contested matchup going down to game three, where first and foremost, Mineski-X seemed to be the cool, calm, collected ones. They had their all-around lineup that was able to just beat Warriors Gaming at every game stage of the game. And then the next game is a 20-minute stomp where Mineski-X take a lot of questionable fights. They are unable to play around the OD effectively enough, and they just in general, like
10
there was so
seconds
much wrong
remaining.
with how they what they brought to the laning phase and what they brought to the early skirmishes. So
5 seconds
they're looking to
remaining.
get their heads back in the game. Invoker first pick, OD banned out, but Venge Doom
Radiant
is
team
Warrior
pick.
Gaming's response.
So, okay, I mean, back in Game 2, you mentioned that the Invoker, I mean, he didn't have much of an impact. It was kind of even with the OD until the Enigma rotation. And, they just committed so much to stopping the Lone Druid's farm, trying to avoid the Darkseer, but it just didn't work out. I mean, Darkseer got so much OD, dominated the game. We saw he never died, 18 kills, just perfect farm. And this game, I mean, WG Unity, they will take
10
up the Doom
seconds
themselves,
remaining.
not giving away to X Nova. So, kind of makes you think, what do they have to do this
5
time to claim
seconds
this back?
remaining.
Because game 1, it looked like WG Unity, they didn't have much control. Game 2, they came back. But going into this game 3, like, what do you think is going on to
Radiant
these
team
players'
ban.
heads? Like, do you think Mineski-X can actually come back to take this 2-1?
I think so. I mean, they definitely they're playing more comfortable heroes. The Darkseer for Johnny, the Invoker for Kang. I feel like they're going to be able to do a lot with this, but
Dire team
um,
banned.
I don't know. It really comes down to like how the draft plays out and how well they're able to kind of reset. I definitely think it's possible if they are able to kind of mentally put that previous game behind them and move forward to this one. They can bring a winning game plan to it, and I think it only like
10
all you need to
seconds
really
remaining.
reset your the tone of your team
5
is to just
seconds
get
remaining.
into one really hype team fight. Just go in, win the first team fight of the
Radiant
game,
team
and
ban.
get really hype and really congratulatory about it, and everybody's right back in the right spirits. So yeah, that last game was hard to watch, hard to play, I'm sure, but it's something in the past, and they're going to look to focus on what's ahead.
Alright, so this
10
time, looks like
seconds
Mineski-X
remaining.
don't want to play against the Darkseer anymore. Maybe a bit traumatized to pick it up themselves.
5
Might
seconds
see the Sven
remaining.
again because it hasn't been banned out. Maybe that's what they have in mind. So that could be, that huge
Reserve
thing
time.
which they want to go for, that huge wombo combo. Because Warriors Gaming Unity, I mean, we saw the Darkseer back in that game, which was quite strange. I mean, after the Vanguard into Blink Dagger,
Dire team banned.
and not a straight Blink, but anyways, here we are. These bans though, I mean, WG Unity, they've been constantly banning out Bounty, Enchantress, and Chen. Are those heroes which Mineski-X usually play a lot, like they spam, like, a stable strategy?
Well, the Enchantress in Chen
10 seconds
has already kind
remaining.
of come into play here from Extinct. Like he's able to play micro really well. Johnny
5
used to play
seconds
all those micro
remaining.
heroes a lot, but the Bounty Hunter I think is much more oriented around the strategy of the game
Reserve
and
time.
essentially just enabling kills with the either Sunstrikes or with the pressure that they're going to be able to put out on their supports. I mean, Doom isn't like a dedicated jungler, but he definitely is more vulnerable early on because he has low base armor, and at level one he's got Devour. He doesn't have Scorch, so even that just Orb of Venom. It clicks with the Shadow Walk can be annoying, and from there it just gets more problematic. There's so many more things you have to take into consideration when you're up against a bounty hunter, and they just don't want to deal with it. They'll take it off the table. They know they can deal with heroes like Faithless Void and Bat. They know that Venge has got their back. I mean, is Afu played it all three times? I feel like he has.
Dire team pick.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. I was just thinking a bit more because I mean we talked about how WG Unity, they like to pull out these fancy strats here and there. Do you think we might see the potential of a Necrophos this game? I mean, I'm hoping to see that. It's always fun to watch.
It's fun, but it would be a different lineup. I think it would be much more focused on damage on one hero. The Doom is much more about control and shutting down the opposition. The
10
Venge is
seconds
enhancing
remaining.
a kind of a right click carry more often than not. Both the Wave of Terror and the
5
Vengeance are all
seconds
about that.
remaining.
So I would say you're just going to see something more traditional. You're going to be see something focused on doing really
Reserve
good physical
time.
damage really quickly and try to go based off that. I mean, even if your core is a little bit vulnerable, you've got the swap to fall back on, so you don't have to worry about the full extent of the wombo combo. You just have to be able to take the fight to them and probably buy a BKB around the mid game.
Okay. And okay, right now, I mean, we saw back in game two when you picked up the Doom. how WG Unity responded is that we're going
Radiant
to give you a
team
ton of
pick.
options to Doom, so take your pick. But for Mineski-X, how would it respond here? Because now that we've got a Dark Seer out, but we're still not sure because I mean, WG Unity just picked up the Lone Druid, obviously, and that's not going to be an easy hero to lane against unless you have plenty of control, because it's just a really annoying hero. I mean, I would favor this in off lane usually, but they play in a safe lane. But Mineski X, other heroes which you have in the pool, what would you see as other viable heroes to just lane
10
against this Lone
seconds
Druid?
remaining.
Obviously, I mean, not an aggro tri lane, I hope.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't think that you'd go aggro again. I think you just kind of leave the Lundra to his own devices and
Hmm.
start
Reserve
pressuring him
time.
far before he gets the Radiance. I mean, even
Hmm.
if he gets that early hand of Midas, it's not the end of the world. It's what happens after that becomes really important. So you can't keep him out of mind, but you don't have to directly contest his laning phase. That being said, yeah, I feel like NextX can definitely kind of build off of this Darkseer. You mentioned the Sven. They're going to go with the Spectre,
Dire team pick.
which has kind of the opposite mentality. Obviously, Vacuum and Desolate have nothing to do with one another. They're actually quite the opposite. But this is still going to allow you to do two things. It's going to allow you to have a safe lane carry that can kind of farm on her own and join the team fight whenever necessary. And it's also going to have something that's naturally
Radiant
tanky,
team
unless the
pick.
Doom could somehow farm up an Aghanims. So I like the idea of the Spectre in a couple of ways. It allows NIC to just play greedily and focus on his own game. The problem is, I feel like Warriors Gaming have already had a lot of potential between Venge and Lone Druid into pushing towers. Doom, in terms of just winning the one or two fights, to suddenly win in two towers at once. Essentially, you win a fight with Doom, you use the Venge
10
Lone
seconds
Druid to push
remaining.
down two full towers, and you just have this objective focus. So by showing the
5
Spectre as a
seconds remaining.
third pick when you already have Invoker Darkseer, you are saying push me or end the game early, put out
Reserve
pressure
time.
against me, and that's what Warrior Gamings are going to do. They're just going to bring out the Death Prophet, drop that Exorcism along with it, and it's going to be so hard for Mineski-X to hold this. No matter if they pick up full counter push from this point forward, if they go Keeper of the Light, Earthshaker, like it's still going to be a really hard hold.
Well, I guess maybe you can take into account like an ancient apparition. We haven't seen that in a while, and of course, I mean, like you said, it's so hard to deal against this push. You gotta take into account as well. I mean, like, okay, Spectre, you have
Dire
your
team
haunt.
ban.
Usually, if you're far behind, already, even if you're behind at all, you just want to be able to participate in fights. Just come in for the assist gold, or maybe even earn charges, whatever. But against, just going in to this Death Prophet Exorcism, it's gonna be so annoying. So I really worry for Mineski X, and no, they will
10
not go for the
seconds
Ancient Apparition. To
remaining.
pick up something the opposite instead of Ice, they will go for Fire. So the
5
Phoenix,
seconds remaining.
support Phoenix. I mean, okay, I'm not familiar with this pick because I haven't tried it. I don't really understand it. But
Reserve
what is it
time.
about? I understand now you max out your Sun Ray, it deals a ton of damage, but
Yeah.
does it really help
It's
out
all about
much?
the Sunray, honestly. Like Doom and Spearbear are two entities with the highest HP values
Hmm.
possible. So you're going to be able to get the most damage out of Sunray. It's kind of like a midnight pulse that you can
Radiant
move.
team ban.
So you can put vacuum down, you tornado, definite, or sorry, you vacuum, you meteor, deafening blast on a Sunray, dead heroes. Just plain and simple. So it's very rarely has anything to do with the
Dire team
egg,
pick.
and maybe that's kind of a last resort thing. But in general, it's really just going to be about Sunray, counter pushing at long range, and maybe just going for even an Aether Lens to try to enhance that because the pure damage does add up, especially against both the Doom and the Spirit Bear.
Hmm. So, kind of, once again, Mineski X, like, same issues as Game 2, which I want to point out, is that is their draft. They don't
10
have much
seconds
control.
remaining.
I mean, no
Mhm.
reliable disables, which is something I feel is very, very
5
important
seconds
regardless, even
remaining.
at least one. And that's something they do not have. So, I mean, what do you think
Reserve
here?
time.
The final picks? WG Unity. I mean, obviously here they go for like what, one more support, maybe like a Shaker. Lions already been banned out. That's what that became a hot pick like what after Shanghai Majors. But 25 seconds. All right. So who
It's
think of something?
interesting.
Okay.
It's interesting that WG actually banned out the support Juggernaut. The healing ward's really good, but it still it doesn't seem like it's worth the ban. And in this sense, I
10
mean, obviously you can
seconds
go for a
remaining.
Jakiro. They're going to go for a Lina. Just follow through. That's all they
Radiant
want
team
is
pick.
Magic Missile. Hey, have a spell to throw after it, and you've got yourselves some good kill potential, some good push potential. So she also has good range potential, good attack speed, so it's good against Egg. But yeah, I don't think that there was too much consideration other than she could just fight early, and when she drops her Laguna, it can obviously start building momentum in the fight early. You doom one hero to take them out of the fight, you focus down another with two or three spells, including Laguna
10
Blade, and you
seconds
kill them,
remaining.
and suddenly the fight is 5v3. Few less spells to work with, but you're still going to have
5
that numbers
seconds
advantage, and
remaining.
it's going to be hard because the Spectre is going to be a non-hero for the first half of the game,
Reserve
and it's from
time.
there. It really is going to be tough to build up. So I think you'll see most Dooms go against the Darkseer, and you just Spirit Siphon him down,
Hmm.
and then from there you can focus on the Invoker with every other spell.
That's true. I mean, of course, unless he goes into the mistake of the Crossvex Invoker again. I mean, I guess it's okay if you want to stall the push for now using the Tornado Bucket.
Quaswex is better in this game than it was in the last one. I'll tell you that.
Definitely.
Tornado EMP is a lot better for holding position, but I still think you prefer the Meteor Deafening.
Well, okay, so we're now waiting on the last pick. Blaze, gotta ask, man, who are you rooting for in this game? This is the final one of the
I
series.
mean, I wanted to see Mineski-X go further. Of course, I also thought Winter was playing when we first got into this, but I did want to see Mineski-X progress further. I definitely think that they have potential as a
10
team,
seconds
especially
remaining.
Extinct. I mean, I've been following him for so long, but they're going to pick up the Witch Doctor, good against the Lone Druid. Just good in general with the Death Ward factor that could actually stay up for a long time here. We'll see, but. Yeah, I think I would like to see Mineski-X move forward, but as far as this draft goes, I'm not sure with those first three picks if I fully think they deserve it. Nova, he got really greedy with this one.
Feels like it, but I am looking forward to see Johnny make those plays because he impressed me in game one. Game two, he tried his best. He was helping here and there, but I mean, he did push the hero to its full limitations. They just didn't stall to the late game as they probably would have liked. Well, over here, I mean, I guess I would favor Warrior Gaming down here because I just like
Mm.
the Lone Druid's picked how it works.
10
And of
seconds
course with
remaining.
this, offlane Doom, I presume it's an offlane Doom. I mean, Afu's playing on it, so it's
5
still okay.
seconds remaining.
I don't know. I wouldn't really trust the names right now. They're swapping around a lot. They just put Wen on the Lone Druid. They just put Ajit on the Lina. I mean, is there a way that they're actually running like a actual course Lina in the
Prepare
offlane?
for battle.
I'm not sure, but I mean, all the same, it's still pretty good because at least at least it means that your team is able to support you and play different roles when needed. So there's this element of surprise. The versatility there is always very good. But oh, this is so
Okay.
tough. I mean, okay, he went straight for 8 tangos and a stout shield here. He's not gonna have a good time going up against this. Looks like a dual lane at least, Afu and Alina.
Yeah. The Venge will rotate down once she feels it's appropriate. I definitely don't think Zaki's glued to the top lane here, but it is high pressure against the Spectre, which is always a good thing. It's just, yeah, you don't really see Lina played in this position pretty much ever.
Alright, so there you go. The ward's already being
30
placed down.
seconds to battle.
Nicely done from Mineski-X though. I mean, you put this ward over here on the cliff. Uh, the idea is probably to make sure that you don't get ganked. And okay, so there we go. We see here they're gonna contest, go straight for the bottom rune. We might see a level 1 engage, but this is not easy for Kang because, I mean, being an invoker, you throw out your Sunstrike, then what? You're just gonna right click? I think they just give this rune up.
Yeah, it's too heavily contested here. It's going to be a double
Not
bounty
good.
rune to the Warriors Gaming.
Oh,
Nice
he
little
gets it! He gets
attempt.
it!
He gets it! All right, X Nova. Chalk one up there, tallying the board. This is really good. That's a great way to start things off, getting the much faster level 2 at the Phoenix, and more importantly, slowing down the Death Prophet. If she had a half level advantage over the Invoker, Kang would not have a fun time here. But now it's actually going to be a lot closer of a matchup. Still, though, I'm curious how they've read the lanes, because like you said, that ward that they placed on the top rune indicated they definitely expected it to be a Lina Venge Doom top, or a Lone Druid Venge Doom, either way.
I mean,
Uh,
maybe one other thing is that they may be looking to make sure that he doesn't like stack this tiny camp up here or something, so that there's no one coming in to just come and just steal those stacks or whatever, because you want the mech up on the Darkseer as soon as possible. And I like this aggro lane coming out because I mean Ajit playing on this Lina, it's very good. I mean, just imagine a farmed Lina. You're able to clean off Nick very, very quickly with nice Laguna Blade, and of course with nice levels as well.
Yeah, the point I was making is I think that ward is just indicating that they didn't actually see this laning configuration coming, and it is naturally a very surprising one. So they're going to have to kind of adjust their mentality going into this and try to kind of poke and prod while keeping distance. That's the hard part here. They don't want to ever get in range of Magic Missile, or they're going to be comboed up. I think Extinct even could have eaten a lot of damage right there, but Yeah, it's very tough because if you underestimate Zaki's reach and his potential to jump in, then you're gonna just get blown up. Oh, mid.
Yeah, he's trying for it. I don't think he gets the kill here though. Yep, well, he's just gonna be
But
forced to pop the salve.
Kang is looking for this turnaround. He's got Sunstrike. He could easily go Cold Snap. Like that has so much turnaround potential.
He does. And Timon, he still has a salve as well. And bottom lane, I mean, I just want to point out for the Spectre. I was about to say Slaughter for some reason. Yeah, he's not having a good lane because he's going up against so many ranged heroes. And here, I think they want to go on Zaki. They throw out the nice dagger as well. Burning him down, burning fire, but Zaki, nope, this will be first blood, going away with Extinct. And of course, Ajit now has to back off as Nick at Desolate doing quite a bit of damage. It's only level 1, but still, Lina, not the tankiest of heroes, very squishy lady. So, here we go. Johnny, against this lone druid, I mean, who do you... Okay, he is out CSing, he is 11-2, but, okay, now they're dead even, but still, I don't think they have a clear edge in this lane.
No, I wouldn't say so. I would
Middle
say
lane,
that
Afu, you're gonna bring Kang down. You need one more right click, Afu. Oh no, but Kang the cross points, he's regenerating up. He can't find it. No way!
Oh man, and now the Doom's gonna get killed off too. Sunstrike comes
there
out.
We go.
Beautiful. That's I mean, very fortunate for King, and that's gonna allow him to win.
Oh,
But Lina bottom, Cask bounce back.
One more click and yes. Oh, but falls to the creeps instead.
This is not looking good for WG Unity in the early game. I mean, obviously, they still have the potential to push and take early towers, but they are not going to have the lane momentum to do it with. They try to force this bottom lane, and while it does have its merits, if the Doom kind of dedicates himself to it, gets a couple good creeps to gank with, even like a Harpy for the lightning, like that'd be good, but he goes in, he's got a Centaur, which is one of the worst early game spells, the hoof stomping away, and he's just not able to do anything for that bottom lane. So instead of running it over, snowballing it, they've actually given up 2 kills, and with the Doom failed rotation mid, we're actually seeing that...
Mid, if he's trying to go for him here, Kang. Timon is really at half HP, and he just got the rune. Oh, this is dangerous, he has to be very careful. He has to invoke for the Sunstrike if he needs it. He has a cold snap in 5, bringing out the Forge Spirits ready, but nah, he will just back off. This is just so painful right now for WGU. And the laning phase is not going well for them as well. I mean, yeah, your Darkseer is getting decent farm. Your Spectre is actually doing okay, better than the Lina in terms of last hits. But at the rate he comes online, I mean, this is not the start you want. Especially since your Invoker, they tried ganking him so hard and it just backfired.
So Afu is kind of lurking in the shadows here. Tranquil Boots will regen him up, but can they actually get that kill becomes the question. 2 points of Dragon Sight, they really want it. Going in, they will start off with the LSA, and it should be enough.
Alright, so you can tell he's behind if he died for 186 gold.
Haste Rune does not break the Spirit Siphon for a long time. Kang barely dodges out the
Nova, he's coming
Crypt
in, he has
Swarm.
to be! Timon, Sunstrike maybe! Oh, looking for the Crypt Swarm. Oh, this is bad, Timon. I think he's thinking about turning around both Kang and Nova. They are very, very low, Timon. Oh man.
He wants it. Well, actually, Kang's going to walk back to the mid lane, and that's going to be an opportunity for Afu to see him coming back the other way. The Fog of War, though, he just now appeared. If there was an Observer Ward on the high ground, actually, they could have just straight up killed the Invoker there, but the other way...
Sunstrike, off the mark. And I'm surprised that he's not going back to like refill his bottle or anything. Okay, now he probably will. The creep wave, he gets just one last hit. Johnny, no mech inside. Is there anything on the courier? Not yet. And bottom lane, they're just keeping the pressure here. So this just means that Mineski-X, besides your Phoenix, you can't really rotate around because there's so much pressure on your Spectre. And Spectre is not one of the strongest laning heroes at all. She has a very weak laning presence.
Of course, so we're going to be looking for her to mostly just survive for now and try to just continue to build up her farm. 22 CS compared to Lina's 21. I consider that a win. Of course, the fact that they've gotten so many kills back the other way is the main reason why it's been going so well. But Doom going to be walking back up, and they're just going to go hard.
Zaki, and not to mention the Sunstrike, he walks back into it, and X Nova very low. Afu trying to put him, but Lina will get the last click here. Extinct also going to low. We're getting very, very low, and he's going to get healed up, and there we go. Lina gets the double kill, but Rich Doctor one onto Zaki, and now they will turn around for Nick. Gets caught at the very tip of the Light Strike array, and Lina triple kill as Ajit is on a dominating streak.
I want to point out that Afu saved his Abyssal Blade, Infernal Blade the entire time. It's 2 heroes he was right-clicking on hard, but he knew that he wanted to save the Infernal Blade for the Spectre. So he's able to get both those kills, then drops it on the Spectre, and the Light Strike Array is easy peasy from there. So really, really good early action, and that's a huge turn of events.
Indeed, and now you can see the gold swing is actually firmly in favor of WG Unity, 1,500. Of course, the bottom rune is saved over here for the Death Prophet. Haven't seen that kill coming out from Timun. Alright, so Nick, once he hits that level 6, we'll see those nice global rotations around. But not yet. I mean, look at the Lone Druid's farm. He's actually rolling in the cash as he almost has his Hand of Midas before 7 minutes in. The Darkseer, however, still not yet close to a mech. Maybe gets the Headdress of the Buckler now. It's just a Soul Ring. And meanwhile, the supports from Unity, Afu and Zaki, they want to go for a bit more. They want the Spectre's Blood. This is not the way, man. And they put down a very aggressive Observe Ward over here. But the Sentry's going to spot it out, so they will know it's there. It is nighttime, however. And they will turn around on Nick. Light Strike Array to follow as well. Yeah, he dies here. Actually, maybe not. Pops the one. Charges. One more right click. Vengeful Zaki gets the kill.
Alright, so they're going to be able to really suppress the Spectre here. I'm curious where the Spectre actually tries to go for farm at this point, because he doesn't even have his phase boots yet, and obviously bottom lane's not going to work. Lina now has Laguna, so there's no way that Spectre can go bottom, but at the same time, she has to find someplace to farm, and obviously the DP, the Lone Druid are going to really make things difficult as well.
Right, so there we go, 5-4 at 8 minutes in. Invoker hasn't had. He doesn't have a Midas, does he? I mean, I saw a Gloves of Haste, but yeah, it's just a Gloves of Haste. I thought he had the recipe, like at the base or something. So, anyways, there we go. This T1's probably gonna fall here. We have a cart, and Extinct. He's just gonna tango his way out and just run away. Doesn't want to die here.
Alright, so now this opens up the map for Warriors Gaming. They're going to be trying to find more opportunities. The Spectre seems, if she goes up, she's still in a significant amount of danger. So, yeah, I feel like the Lina can kind of just keep on threatening the lane, and then the other two can roam and consider moving back in on the Spectre if they find an opportunity.
Oh, he is so lucky that it's, it's daytime. If that was nighttime, he probably would have died there. Oh, Zaki caught in the trees, stay in the trees, die in the trees, as Invoker gets a nice Sunstrike there. So, okay, getting closer to the Midas as Timun, nice use of the illusions, will use his Exorcism to try and get some chip damage off. But X-Nova dives in with the Icarus, and of course, Johnny is going to just clean this creep wave up. Arcane Boots, actually. Okay, that's strange, because that's usually like a luxury item on a Darkseer. I mean, if the Soul Ring, you usually just want to go straight for the mech. So I guess he feels comfortable and confident enough that they can drag this game out.
And it's actually, there are some Darkseers that will always build Soul Ring Arcanes, and they will just get that many more Ion Shells as a result of it. It's just, if you love to spam Ion Shell, it's actually going to be a better build. Nice back into the Sunray. That is a 300 gold boost for the Phoenix. So I don't know if he goes for Midas 2, maybe not, but the bottom line is it's obviously really good to get that bear kill early.
I just have to point out, Afu has been involved in like what 2 to 3 smokes now without his level 6, so that's really huge. And they get a nice ward down, and it's out of range of the sentry, and they will go straight.
And they might be able to get the
Magic Missile. Oh, just at the very tip, burning him down. Scorched Earth level 3 doing so much damage, and this is what I like about the support Doom. But I felt that Mineski-X, they just, I mean, yeah, you can draft it, but it seems like they don't know how to play against it.
Usually you'll see with like a support Doom that goes for this many ganks early that you're going to be seeing the Orb of Venom with the Inferno Blade, and that does a lot of slow with the mini stun. But no, in this case, it seems like they're able to make their spells connect either way, and now suddenly Jit has an Ether Lens, going for Ether, then most likely Yules, and then Ags, and I don't feel like Mineski-X have the draft to deal with that.
Oh, I think Zaki is going around. He's thinking about going. He was just waiting behind the trees, but apparently not. And meanwhile, Kang, okay, he's going to get the Hand of Midas like 10 seconds or if one more creep. So, and when he's had absolute free farm, he's got 5,100 net worth. He's 2,000 gold, or just a bit under that, towards his relic. So, I'd be very, very afraid of our Mineski.
And they're still trying to play around this Spectre and try to bait him into bad situations, using the long, extended range of Light Strike Array with the Fog of War and just trying to get those quick little snipes. But they don't get that opportunity on bottom. They just keep on pushing on mid, and we have yet to see really the Exorcism come into play. So I'm excited to see if they're willing to unveil that soon.
Well, I mean, he did use it like once a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, but I mean, like, like that wasn't like the big exorcism we're looking for.
Yeah.
We're looking for them being able to go for a sustained fight where that actually damage adds up really quickly. Oh, okay, big potential kill bottom.
Oh, there we go, and the Doom is off onto Extinct. He's not healing anybody here, and the Laguna Blade will polish him off. And Arjun, he doesn't want to give a lot of gold here. If he does, that's going to be a huge streak going there. It is a mega kill streak, and his net worth is very, very high. It will be 500 gold going the way of the Darkseer, which means that he gets more, money closer towards that mechanism. In middle lane,
Two
they're
towers.
right for the push. Oh no, it's very low. Afu's below, and of course here comes the Haunt. Kang very, very low, and Afu's going to Infernal Blade spank him down as Nick. There we go, Timun. Gonna get broken down by the Sunray, doing so much damage as Afu's gonna get run down, and Zaki as well follow. Force Spirit bringing him very, very low. Do we have to surge on? We have to surge him up, but no, Johnny's going for the selfish play. He's not gonna give it to Nick, and he can vacuum. Maybe, yes, he will get the kill.
Yep. In the meantime, the Lone Druid will take the tier 1 top, but I believe the tier 1 mid will be denied by Mineski-X. They were able to get a lot done in that fight, utilizing the Haunt very effectively. And although the Surge almost got the Evoker out, I feel that they're still happy with the end result because Mineski-X were able to get so many return kills and really, obviously, build up their Darkseer, their Phoenix, and their Spectre in a big way.
Alright, so he's gonna get drums up on the Spectre. So, okay, he's more, I would say, able to fight now compared to a while earlier on because of the amount of gold which WG Unity just threw to them. It was a 4-for-1 trade, and you can see the gold swing. It dropped just a tiny bit over 1,000, which I would say it definitely hurts the economy. So we only have one more smoke left on WG side, I believe. Actually, two.
So yeah, they've been very active with it, but they also bought it nearly the beginning of the game, so they've been able to kind of keep those rotations rolling and still keep finding opportunities. But I feel like they're still they need to continue to build momentum. They can't just rely entirely on the Lone Druid to carry them. Yes, he is going to be able to get all the farming items. He got Iron Talon, then Midas, and he's about to have his Radiance in the next few minutes. But that being said, they don't want to go late game against Invoker, Spectre, Darkseer. They definitely want to start going for the harder push, which means a focus on Roshan soon. So for the next 5 or so minutes, we have to see WG go for the Rosh, and I think they have to at least get one hero pick to feel confident about it.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Right now, I'm just worried that WG Unity aren't pressing the lanes as hard as they should, because okay, yeah, I mean I agree with you. I mean you said that your Lone Druid's gonna be super farmed and all that. The Radiance, maybe you can start pushing a bit more. Spectre and heroes like your Witch Doctor, Phoenix are going to suffer a lot. But one thing I want to ask right now is about Roshan. I mean, do any of these teams... Okay, maybe Unity can take the Roshan, but can Mineski-X contest it?
Yeah, I feel, like I said, just I think they want to pick up one hero to feel comfortable with it. They could just walk in and try for it, but there's plenty of risk involved in that, and I don't think they want to do that. So I think that with the bright movement of the Darkseer Evoker, that there's absolutely the potential to contest Rosh. They will look to at least take down the bottom tier 2 and get some good wards out, if not take a hit down a hero before going for the Rosh. But they do have to do it within the next few minutes.
Oh, actually, I think they want to TP in to fight this. Because with the fortification, yep, so to get a T on top, and Johnny did TP to the T3, and he has a level 4 vacuum, of course. So this could be pretty big if they can land a full combo. Invoker is really prepping. You can see a bit over there, and there we go, the egg. He's just going straight in, and the Haunt to follow as well. You can see Johnny get doomed up. Such that's gonna land into Apu only, but he's still gonna die as well. Spectre haunting it, it's crazy. That's a very, very risky play. But of course, the Sunray is gonna keep him alive. Timun, Sword back and Laguna bit, but he's still alive. The Sunray! That was so
I can't
close.
believe it.
And they're going for a bit more. Khan gonna get surged up. He has a cold snap up in 3, 2, 1. Silenced up by Timun, but I think he's just prolonging the inevitable death. Actually, maybe not. The Light Strike array. Ajit with the nice stun. Sunstrike off the mark, so this would pretty much mean that they can push out the bottom lane and maybe take this T1 now. But over there it went. Radiance on your bear after another creep wave.
Yeah, I mean, this has been just like a PvE game for Wen. He has not done anything in terms of offensive capacity. In an offensive capacity, he's 0-0-0. He really has not been able to do much other than push towers, kill creeps. But end of the day, he's gotten what he wants. The question is what he does with it next. With the Haunt on cooldown, WG take the map back. Sure, they just lost a fight, but they actually have the better potential to fight at this particular moment. With the Radiance, with the fact that they have the Exorcism, all this ties together really nicely for some real potential for WG Unity. But again, it's about how they move on the map to get in position to use those abilities instead of just like right now. Win is continuing to farm. So if he continues to farm, if he continues to focus on himself, sure he'll get a lot of gold. He'll obtain a lot of income, but in the meantime, the Spectre gets tankier and tankier, bigger and bigger.
He has 1,300 gold. I mean, is this one of those games where you just go for Manta style first, or would you like prefer a Diffusal Blade? I mean, Diffusal Blade or Yasha, I mean, even one of those items, I'm not really sure which one gives you more kill potential. I guess maybe the Diffusal, because of the slow, the Purge.
I like Diffusal against Lundred in general. It's a really good item because all of his buffs are dispellable, but I'd say that Manta still might be
Okay, they smoked out.
important.
We have an Exorcism and the Doom. And Wen's all the way behind. He has his Bear Radiate, the Summon pushing out the top lane, as Johnny still has the Vacuum, and of course a Mech. This could be Greaves if he wanted. He has the money for it, or he could be just saving for a blink. As right now WG Unity just waiting for the play, baiting it out. And of course here comes Ajit coming in with a flank. Zaki gonna get swap in Johnny and Doom as well. Goodbye, and there comes Icarus dive there. What Coconut is doing a ton of damage to Yafu. He's gonna die first. The haunt. Johnny's gonna die in the trees. There we go, haunting back. Oh, he's gonna go for Timon, who doesn't even get the exorcism off. It's gonna be a 2-1 trade. And the Laguna Blade, it's gonna be a 2 for 2. And Nick, he's gonna get burned down. They're hunting him in the trees. They know he's there. Actually, maybe not. He's gonna just TP out. Ah, the try.
Yeah, but I mean, I still feel like they can kind of build off of this. They've gotten those 2 kills. There's some pings out towards Roshan. Exorcism is obviously the big spell to look at here. It's the one with the most potential. The Bear you can kind of just start on Rosh, and it'll bring it down to half by the time the DP is even up. And then from there, unless the Sunstrike... Well, actually, the Invoker doesn't even have mana, so like they just can't really invade. He'll scout it, but like they really won't be able to do anything. They're TPing, they're trying, but even if they smoke, I don't think they get there fast enough.
It's very hard. But they are going to try anyways because they're smoked out right now, and Johnny, he's going to search himself. They want to take this. This is actually really, really slow, Roshan. But looks like they're still going anyways. We have an egg at it ready. He has a Sun Ray. Nope, got cancelled. And the Coconut's doing so much. He's going to bounce into one, and Zaki vacuum into and to the wall. And of course, we have the egg to follow. That's so much damage that Darkseid and Invoker will clean these 2 off. And they'll be happy with that. And they're just, okay, it's a huge win. Meanwhile, WG Unity, everyone else would just back off, minimizing all their losses.
I still think it's important that WG make that play because they need the Aegis, they need the Roshan to start building their strategy. And yes, they do lose 2 heroes. Yes, it's a big win for Mineski-X, but they keep the Aegis and they're going to look to fight 6v5. They really need to do everything they can to start using this Rose cycle because if they don't take, I would say, at least 2 towers with this Rose cycle, they're going to be gradually losing the game as it goes on. Mineski-X have a really, really powerful late game. They're building it up with the Midas. They really just, WG Unity have to take advantage of this 5-minute window to take the fight to their opponents because the more they rest, the more they slow the game down, it's just going to get harder.
That's true, because the last thing he wants is to go late game against a Spectre and an Invoker, because right now it seems like he has 3,000 gold. Nick may actually be turning around for a Radiance, which means heroes like Avenge, your Doom, I mean, just anyone in general, they're not that tanky. And I mean, Death Prophet, you can say, has had a very quiet game. We haven't seen that huge Exorcism, the big one, you know, the really, really big one till now. Things are just so sad right now for them. And the Bear's just continuously pushing out the lanes right now, because Win doesn't even have to be there. He's just right-clicking things down. What does this Bear even have? Radiance, close. Okay, how much gold does he have? 1,000.
Most recent pickup was Radiance, so she shouldn't do much more anytime soon. Like, there's already Vlad's on the Doom, so you'll probably look for like an Assault Cross or something like that. Basher is not that great this game, but he'll still probably get it later.
Yeah, they're smoked up right now. Johnny's leading the charge again. They're very, very eager to fight this, and they can actually go for the flank. Yep, they have just panned out their movements. They're ready for it. This is gonna be crazy. They really need that big fight. If Johnny can get a huge vacuum with this new Blink dagger she just picked up, they're just waiting behind right now. And I think WG Unity, the spider sense is tingling. The way the positioning, they're spreading very, very far out. But here we go. Here comes Johnny. Looking for the huge vacuum, but doomed up immediately. And of course, here comes Egg in the corner, but Johnny's gonna get brought down immediately by the Laguna Blade. And of course, here comes Bridge like a full duration Death Ward. Look at it go, and the Sunray is gonna bring 2 down. Aegis is gonna be popped as well. Timun, he's gonna get burned down by the Spectre. And of course, Afu dying here. It's gonna be a 3 for 2 trade as the Witch Doctor will finally die. Oh, so he died a while ago, but Spectre's gonna get the Doom. And anyways, There we go. The bear's gonna try and burn somebody down, but there's no one else to burn.
That
And
was actually an amazing fight from WG or from Mineski-X. I mean, the way they were able to pull through that, fighting through the Aegis and still just do so much work. I mean, the Supernova got off to its fullest extent. Obviously, the Haunted Death Ward did amazing work too, and the Evoker got some massive damage in that team fight. Like that was exactly what they needed. Sure, they don't get out unscathed, but they do what they need to do to win that fight against the Doom, against the Aegis, and this just stops the Warriors in their tracks.
middle lane, where he tried to go for it onto Nick, but he's getting saved by the Sunray. It was really close. He got away on like what, yeah, barely 150 HP. One more Dragon Slave or even the Laguna Blade would have cleaned him off, but he didn't want to take the risk, seeing as the Phoenix was there. But okay, I mean, what spells did he get off? I mean, did he get the Media combo off?
Yeah, full Meteor Deafening Blast did
Right,
massive
that
damage. DP was the one who got the brunt of that, really. She got hit by a cask and a little bit of Phoenix action, but almost all of her life was taken away by the Invoker, and that prevents the Exorcism from wreaking havoc in the team fight.
I mean, it looks like a Rod of Atos coming out, or maybe an Octarine core, but I feel that this Death Prophet really needs a BKB, especially getting
Yeah, whoa, that is so bad. I mean, like, generally speaking, I'm not so absolute in how I question pro players' decisions because there's a reason for everything, but the Atos doesn't do anything but subvert the Radiant's mischance. That's the only thing. Like, other than that, like, the slow factor, like, is not going to change how most of these heroes play around her. I think Yule's is like 1,000 times better than Atos.
I mean, I guess that's why he's had very, very little impact, because he's been taking, if you realized, he's taken the brunt of that media combo every single time, and that's before he gets the exorcism off. He's always walking off at 200 HP, never gets a chance to use it, and I think Mineski-X have been playing very well around this. And not to mention as well, Afu back in that fight, once again, just point out, just very, very quickly took out the Darkseer before he got the vacuum combo off. He was actually in the, like, in the cast animation. Alright, so there we go, Timon, Rod of Atos, and we have a Relic already, and actually that is the Radiant up on to Nick. Oh, game just got very, very hard for WGU.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like this Lone Druid has been sitting on a Radiance for a very long time, but the Spectre Radiance really seems to be the one that is going to be starting to change the game the other direction. So, all in all, we're going to see Mineski-X go for another smoke here. They didn't go for as many smokes early, but they're certainly bringing them out now at the critical timing when they can actually take these fights hardcore.
I'm pretty sure they're well aware that they have to lead. I mean, their net worth is currently just a bit 3,000, but it's okay. And there we go, vacuum combo. It's actually going to finally end Zaki. And here comes the Haunt. Korea's in the middle of the war. This is the wrong place to be. They're trying to go for it. Actually, maybe not. They're going to kill for Afu. Spectre, welcome to bench. And here we go see our first big exorcism, maybe. Doom is up to Kang. And then Laguna Blade's going to try and bring him down. And Focus going to kill the Doom. But Lina will kill Killing Spree. Getting right over there. And Death Ward's going to kill him. And then, of course, the nice Bear Rod's going to scare with the Death Ward. But that's it. And when taking a bit of damage to the side, he's going to get stunned up. But no, he will just back off, and so will Ajit as well. Nick showing off that fancy new Radiance. Game just got very, very scary for WG Unity.
And he's just farming right back up top, no problem at all. No skin off his nose. He'll do plenty of damage there, but yeah, just really good ultimate usage coming in from Mineski-X, and yeah, it's not even like you can't even really look at it as, oh, this team's 3,000 gold behind, they can really benefit from a smoke. It's WG Unity are off balance. They're starting to lose a lot of their momentum, and one good smoke gank could just push them further and further into a trench position. Now, 21-13 is the kill score. Mineski-X with the late game lineup leading, and in terms of kills and map control. If you look at, it seems to be one of the only wards on the map. You have a couple top lane, but the big one is actually in the dire jungle. So they can go for a follow-up smoke a little bit later when, whenever Witch Doctor feels like it. But generally speaking, it just, they know when the pieces are in play. And Lina...
Oh, look at Ajit. That was very close. Nick almost died to Sunstrike. Oh, he's actually really, really low. Zeus ult! Nah, just kidding. But anyways, that ward was actually placed during the smoke when they were... It was such a pity that Johnny didn't get the Doom. And the Venge, that would be really, really big. Much cleaner as well.
But nevertheless, I mean, it's... Right now, Mineski are doing massive work. Spectre are very lucky to have a Vit booster in that exchange, because otherwise he absolutely would have been killed off before the Phoenix could help. But what does Phoenix just go Shiva's guard here? I'm not even sure what he needs at this point. X Nova, he's got 2,800 gold. I mean, his net worth is almost double that. It's almost half his gold is just sitting in his bank. He's got to be planning something.
I'm just so skeptical right now about why your Death Prophet doesn't go for a BKB. Even now, he has the chance to go for it. Like maybe pick up the Ogre Club, sell the wand. But I mean, let's just talk a bit more into this Rod of Atos. Is it that bad? I mean, yeah, it's not an item you would usually go for, but
It's just
raw
it's
HP.
not a bad item. Like when you look at the idea of like, oh, I get good stats out of it, and I can combo it up with Spirit Siphon and the Atos to get some freebie kills. It's a really good item if you can get early in the game, but it is does
Structures are fortified.
compared to Yules and BKB, the items that allow him to survive the team fight up against the Mineski-X damage. There's no question that
Oh, Mineski-X.
the Atos is going to be worse for him. Like, he's not going to be able to survive longer. He's not going to be able to cancel a Witch Doctor Deathward. There is no fight where you'd rather have an Atos here.
Oh, look at Mineski-X. Johnny, they found them. They know they're on the run. They want to find Afu and Zaki again. These two are always together, and they're just going to go behind. Johnny, Zaki. Oh, there we go. The haunt is going to be wasted. But actually, no, they may find themselves a consolation in Afu. No, wasted haunt. That was a very good smoke. I mean, that's something Mineski, they're very good at highlighting, but it looks like they will try for a counter smoke now. Yes, they will. No haunt. This is just big.
All right, so this could be a nice opportunity here. Going to be moving forward. They're burning the mid lane with the bear, and that does get pinged out. But otherwise, yeah, it definitely seems like it's going to be having some surprise factor here. Still, though, it looks like Mineski-X are not playing ball. It's going to be the Darkseer Iron Shelling and running back, and they aren't going to fall for this one.
Which is very, very good. I mean, on paper, it looks like they're doing the right thing, but it's totally understandable right now why you would just back off. So Mineski-X doing the right thing and just reading WG Unity's movements right now as they wait for Roshan. Of course, the Forge Spirits are in there, and it's up very, very soon. They don't have a haunt for another minute, and maybe they'll just try to push out this bottom T2. And if they win the team fight, they can go for Roshan. But nonetheless, this is very, very risky. They have to close this down before the haunt is up. Because one thing I also want to point out is that WG Unity, they're constantly getting initiated on. Yeah, you get dodge the ganks here and there, but the way to win the fights right now for them, I feel, is that they need to be the ones to start the fights on their conditions, not giving in to Mineski-X the whole time.
Yeah, they're going to move over to the Roche Pit. This seems like a good opportunity, as they do have this part of the map in their favor. It will be scattered out immediately, but the question is whether or not Mineski-X can get in position. Exorcism's going to do a lot of work. The AC coming into play, the Wave of Terror, it all just chunks this Roshan down.
So Kong, they know he's going to just use the spells quickly and the Forge Spirits with Alacrity combo. He's going to take this top T2 maybe. Not enough. Alright, so it's not yet in deny range, that's a good thing. Timon's going to be farming up the hard camp using his Exorcism the remainder of it at least. And this ward, once again, doing so much work, providing so much intel. And I don't think Mineski-X has a smoke for now. Let's look at item progression. Well, yeah, we don't have any smokes yet, and I don't think they're out of stock. Not for another 5 minutes and a half.
This is really the last peak of Ajit. Warriors are going to be having this Yules, Blink, Ether, Aghanim's, Lina, and it has to do work. Like the next thing you can do is get like an Octarine or a Refresher. That's reduce your cooldowns to get more Lagunas out. But right now, this is pretty much the biggest peak you're going to get, and you have to really make something happen in the next few minutes, I would say.
He needs like a Hex, I suppose.
I mean, it might be good against the Invoker, but otherwise, yeah, I feel like you're just going to get outgunned. I feel like this nuclear arms race is already explosively in favor of Mineski-X, and yeah, by the time you get a Hex, Mineski-X, each one of their heroes is going to have another item too, and that's going to be that much scarier. I feel like they have to go now. This Aegis, this cycle, get to the high ground somehow.
Oh, WG Unity, they don't want to give this up. They have the Aegis, they can take this fight. And now, yep, Mineski-X, they're very, very well aware that WG Unity is looking for a fight. This is just one of those things where like, hey, don't run, come back. But no, too bad. They'll just walk it off, run away, split up the map again. And Nick, this is what he's been constantly doing now, especially with that Radiance. He's actually catching up on farm. And surprisingly, when he's actually very, very high buff as well. So, okay, with this Midas, and you can see the AC, 2200 gold, maybe Majonia, might see a heart, Abyssal Blade. Timon is finally going for the BKB of his own. He's going to sell the one, and then your Invoker combo is pretty much going to be useless, and I would say it's definitely much needed here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help a lot. Now he only really has to worry about the Death Ward and the extended damage from things like the Spectre and Darkseer Illusions, but yeah, it's still going to be. It's definitely the item he needs to win the fights, and it came out a little late, but 31 minutes they actually do have some real fight potential. Lina and Death Prophet are scary. They do have a lot of potential with these items. They just got to make use of them soon. They need to start making their moves. They've got 2 fresh BKBs. They've got this Aegis still, at least for a little bit longer. This is their time, if any.
And Phoenix is also getting closer to Shivas. He's actually really close. He's not that far behind, despite not having a Midas. This Ether Lens
Yeah.
thing. Alright, so Timon with the BKB completed and the Aegis. Is this actually the cue to go high ground?
Like I've been saying, I think they have to go high ground with this Aegis. I mean, they have everything they need to attempt it, and most likely, I think they can do it unless the Death Ward stays for
No way,
more than like
Blaze.
4 or 5 seconds.
But Blaze is so risky. I mean, can you imagine trying to go up high ground into the back wall combo and your Invoker, you've got the Spectre Haunt all ready, and they will push it. They will just force it. Sometimes you just have to man up, and the Sunray doing so much. Look at the percentage damage, and the bear is ticking down very, very quickly. And Johnny is a beautiful wall combo. Gonna catch the 4 heroes, and the Exorcism is still up. And here comes the Deafening Blast. Gonna use up Ajit, and here comes a nice egg, Timon. You're trying to right click the egg. Actually, maybe not. Can he kill him down in the nick of time? Actually, maybe he's gonna live. Actually, no, he will die. Just kidding. Nafu still alive. BKB and a Laguna Blade 2 for 2 trade. As your Spectre is gone, and Kang root, and Death Prophet gets another kill. And the Aegis not even popped. That BKB finally paying off. And this was the item he really needed, really needed. And this will be at least a melee lane of reactive scenes, but actually no backdoor protection. Nice.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a nice combo again. It's only gonna catch the bear and Timon as they get stunned up by the coconut tier. Have some. And there is no buyback on Mineski-X. This is the melee lane. This is actually the bottom lane of Rax. As Lina will clean off Witch Doctor.
Yeah, just using the full effectiveness of the Aether Lens enhanced cast range, they're able to clean up that bottom lane. And I don't think they can take. I guess tier 2 top is technically feasible because the creeps are at it, but no, they've gotten what they came for. This was really well done. I was surprised Timon took so long to pop his BKB because he uses Exorcism for his first life. You might as well use your BKB for your first life. That being said, he got the full value out of it. He got all that HP healed up from Spirit Siphon and from the Exorcism later, so he was able to do such tremendous work in that fight. And that was the fight that they needed. They really needed something to get back in this game. That's a huge amount of gold. The net worth now going to be dramatically favoring them for a much longer period of time. Spectre will look for the heart. Max Dispersion plus heart obviously going to be doing a lot for them, but still the BKBs are scary. These are 9 and 10 second BKBs on now 3 different heroes. The Lone Druid, the Death Prophet, and the Doom.
It's just such a tough game, I feel, for the Spectre, because yeah, he's definitely gonna carry the late game if this drags out, I would say. But I mean, like you mentioned, so much coming out here from Timon, getting the full value of the BKB. He really waited to the last possible moment. But one thing I also wanted to point out is that the Darkseer, when Johnny went for the jump, yes, it was a beautiful Vac combo, but the thing is, his team was just too far behind, and it looked like they were not prepared at all. You could tell they didn't want to go. They wanted to wait.
I mean, I definitely can think. I think that the Darkseer, the Johnny's play there, it made sense. The problem was that the BKB is just stopped so much in its tracks. Like the Sunray was already on cooldown. The Invoker didn't get the full value out of his combo because of the BKBs. And no matter how you approach that fight, unless you can keep them in the Death Ward range, which got outranged very quickly, yeah, it's going to be a hard one. So now we've got Shivas. We've got the potential for this Phoenix to make big plays happen, and they're going to have to.
We're going for round 2. The melee lane of Rax is taking a lot of damage. We need Johnny with a huge vacuum wall again. Here we go. Shiva's and into 3 this time. And the BKB is going to be popped. The Death Ward will land to Moon. He's taking a lot of damage. Actually, not that much. Just tickling him. But no, here comes Nick. And of course, Death Prophet Phoenix is going to be a 2-for-1 trade. And Laguna Blade to follow. It's going to be 3-for-1. And they don't have buybacks. I think this is GG Blaze. Johnny's going to go down as well. He has the buyback now. But even if he does buyback, what's he going to do? As the Exorcism will just finally take out this top lane of Rax.
And yeah, incredible. Just really knowing that this is their optimal timing window, their final peak, and they're able to make the most of it. 2 fights in a row. They focused down the egg, which was not level 16 yet. So that was a very ambitious supernova, I gotta say. But even still, they really, Warriors Gaming had the perfect focus. Were able to take down each hero piece by piece, chunk by chunk, and they really were just not susceptible to the Mineski combo. They were able to play around it very well, and once again, the BKBs are allowing them to fight, to siege, to win. And with 2 full lanes of Rax at their advantage, it's going to be on Mineski-X to pull something out. This is a severe disadvantage no matter
Radiant's
how
middle
strong their
tower
heroes
is under
scale.
attack.
I mean, I really want to highlight that. It seems like your Spectre was doing okay catching up, but at any point, do you think if this game drags on, do you still think he can carry them? It's really tough.
Yes, I absolutely do, but I also feel like it's very possible that Warriors Gaming will be able to finish this off within the next 10 minutes. I mean, they've already got 4 racks in their advantage. It's not difficult for any professional team to snowball that kind of momentum and close it out. It really like can absolutely Mineski can bring this back. They have the heroes for it, but every scalable advantage that they had picked up previously, I feel, is negated by the last 2 fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And actually, like thanks to the bottom lane of Rax, WG Unity finally broke past the 5k mark, because otherwise before that they were never hit by more than 5,000 net worth, and it's basically every time they took a lane of Rax it was another 5,000 gold into their pockets. And this Roshan, I think this just sealed the deal for the Warriors Gaming Unity team.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it, but we'll have to
played very
see.
well.
Aegis will go to Lone Druid, Death Prophet with the cheese. That's really big. So difficult to kill the Death Prophet now.
Yeah,
I mean, they just don't have hard control.
Yeah, and Timon actually tanked the almost the full duration of the Death Ward, and it was like tickling him. She basically just stood there, just like, hit me, and it's like, all right, that's it.
Yeah. If he's got Spirit Siphon and BKB on, like, he's not afraid of anything, even the Death Ward.
Yeah.
So, I think the biggest reason for that is that he has both AC and Vlads on his team, as well as now Shiva's guard. So he's got a lot of armor to work with, and yeah, now with the cheese, he's absolutely unkillable. There is no way he dies unless he's diving tier 4s are found.
Tower has fallen.
There we go, to an EMP just to try and slow things down, maybe burn a bit of mana away from Timon, but with this cheese, he's really not afraid to do this. And there we go, the BKB coming up, maybe Afu looking for the Doom, but actually it's so confusing, it's gonna be vacuumed back, but there's no wall yet. Of course, the Laguna Blitz gonna go into Johnny, doesn't really get the wall off. And Zaki, okay, now Johnny will be forced to buy back, but Nick is falling very, very low. This hard, yeah, he's not even that tanky.
That's it.
Oh, this is GG, Lena. They isolated Nick and he died. He tried his best, but his best was not enough. Let's count. Loaded up and Doom. He's gonna die here, and this will be the GG called by Johnny. As WG Unity, it seemed like their time was running out against the Spectre. Mineski-X just somehow threw away the potential momentum that they had.
Yeah, I really do feel like they were able to really get their act together at the moment that they had to. Like, they were at a dramatic kill advantage. If you just look at the kill score and watch that as a graph, like, you'll see that they were just falling further and further behind until that upswing with Roche and with BKBs. Yes, they were ahead on the graphs for net worth, but that meant nothing to me because the Doom Devour, because things like the Lone Druid's jungling speed and Midas action, like, none of that minor net worth advantage didn't make a difference. What made a difference was when they started going for their dedicated 5-man movements, when they stopped getting initiated on and starting being the initiators, and when they got the BKBs to deal with the Invoker. From there, they were able to do so much in so little time, and they bring it back. I would say the past 10 minutes define the game.
I mean, do you also point out, do you think like the laning phase really affected the Spectre that much? Because, I mean, we saw WG Unity, yeah, it was solid for like a good 3 minutes until things just sort of evened out. But do you think the laning phase also played a huge factor in why the Spectre couldn't really, have that much of an impact this game?
I don't actually. I think that the supports were able to mitigate those factors very nicely. The Witch Doctor, the Phoenix, found multiple kills on the Venge. Later, obviously, the Spectre had a really hard time. Like, she had to leave the lane at phase boots, and there was a lot of early tower pressure. But I feel like no matter what, when you're picking a Spectre as your third pick, you're going to have to expect a lot of pressure like that, and you're going to have to learn to play around it. So Nick, he did his best. He was able to still get a pretty good Radiance timing, but I feel like the biggest thing was just that they weren't able to do enough against the BKB targets, and that was the timing window they had to fight. When you pick Invoker, when you pick Darkseer, that's what you have to be afraid of, and Warriors Gaming just pulled it out at right when they needed to. No matter how the laning phase plays out, that you call it mid-game, it was the game-ending phase for this particular game. It was really, really well done by Warriors.
Alright, so Thank you, Blaze, for casting me, and thank you guys for tuning in. This is the end of our BTSC games for today. Of course, do follow us on social media if you have any feedback for us at Hades.tv and at Blaze Casting. Thank you once again for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow for more BTSC games at 5 p.m. Singapore time. Good night.